Stoke star stormed off pitch because teammate wouldn't pass to him. Peter Crouch has slammed some of his former Stoke City teammates, who he suggested were to blame for the club's disgraceful Premier League relegation. Crouchy enjoyed 7.5 years at the Potters, scoring 62 goals before eventually leaving to join Burnley in January 2019. The season before, the lanky forward had been a bit part player in the team's relegation, ending a 10-year spell in the top flight. While Stoke have since struggled in the second tier, the ex-England forward has moved forward with his own projects, launching the popular Peter Crouch podcast. And, in one recent episode, he addressed what went wrong at the club. When you're talking about players not caring, that leads me to my relegation at Stoke, because that was devastating in lots of ways, he acknowledged, before going on to describe how a team dropping down to a lower tier can impact upon the entire city it inhabits. Being a Premier League club and the sponsorship money that brings, it affects the whole community, and when you see it firsthand and you're involved in it, the devastation is huge. You feel responsible for it because what you do on the pitch has had an impact on such a massive community. Despite this, Peter suggested that in his final full season at Stoke, when the club were relegated to the Championship after a dismal run of performances, he saw players not caring about their performances. "I'd seen us go from the best dressing room I'd ever seen to almost the worst, and that culminated in relegation," he remembered. "You talk about players not caring, I got that vibe. There were times when there were certain individuals that were a disgrace at that time. Some of the things I saw in that year of the relegation at Stoke were something that I never saw in 20 years of football." The forward held his hands up and admitted that he had to accept some of the blame for the club's failings, but stressed that the warning signs had been apparent far earlier than manager Mark Hughes' sacking in January. "Pre-season there were warning signs, we'd signed a few players and little things were changing, we'd lost the characters, it was too late by the time that I realized that," he explained. Crouchy refused to identify the culprit but remembered one shocking incident during a friendly, saying, "One of the players walked off the pitch because someone didn't pass to him. It's like 10-year-old stuff. These were the types of things I was seeing, it was mind-boggling." And, trying to ascertain why the season was such a spectacular failure, Crouchy suggested that it was largely down to poor recruitment. Everything that Stoke was associated with, winning ugly and being difficult to beat, was gone. "We were a nice footballing team that rolled over easily," he added. "That season we had 4 managers and none of them could get a tune out of the team. The recruitment of these players, yeah, you can look at their abilities and go, ooh, he looks like a player, but they can be a complete tool." To get more sports stories from Daily Star delivered straight to your inbox, sign up to one of our free newsletters here.